Good morning, class.
Good morning.
All right, guys. Okay, so today is Thursday. It's day 4 of our Taking the Stand unit. And today we're going to talk a little bit about theme. But first, I want to review all of the narrative elements that we've talked about this week regarding narrative. So, who wants to tell me one of the narrative elements they remember going over? Any that you can think of? Plot. Okay, plot. So, think of one of your favorite fairy tales. Can you briefly describe the plot to the class? Okay.
There's a girl named Cinderella,
Okay.
and she's a
maid
maid.
for her bond, right?
Yeah, so she's a maid. She has means that with her children, and they treat her poorly. Then she goes out and loses her shoe, and Prince Charming finds it and comes and gives it to her, and then it's magical.
Okay, good. So the plot. So the plot, so this is our anchor chart that we have hanging on the wall. But we characterize the plot as the sequence of events involving. This is hard for y'all to see. I wonder if I can change. It's okay. Involving characters and the situations in the story. All right. So using her Cinderella example, can someone tell me about the setting of the story? Who knows anything about Cinderella? Or just the setting?
It's in her house, and then she goes to the garden or something for her godmother, the garden, yeah. And then it's in the prince's palace.
Okay, so those are like the locations that the setting took place. Can anybody tell me like the time period? I know it's a fairy tale, but can you kind of like, someone said something? You say the 1800s, okay, and what clues about the story tell you that that's from the 1800s?
The rat and horse and carriage. Yeah, nobody goes to balls.
Castles, okay, good. Okay, what about, let's think of point of view, which we talked about yesterday. What can y'all tell me about point of view? You don't have to use a Cinderella example, but what are the different types of point of view that we reviewed?
First person.
Okay, first person. Third person. Okay, when would you use first person point of view? Okay, so stuff that uses I, right? Like I did this and then this happened, right? Okay, and today we're going to finish our story, which is a first person narrative, right? Okay. And what about characterization? How would y'all define characterization?
I forgot what characterization was. I forgot what characterization.
Okay, so remember when we talk about the characters in the story, we look at how the author characterizes them by what the characters say, what actions they take, and how they react to different things in the story.
So like if there's a bad guy and the author's always talking about like using like dark words and stuff, because he wants you to feel a certain way about that character.
Okay, good. So like if there's dialogue between characters, you can tell a lot about that person by the way they interact with people, right? So that's one way to characterize. Okay, so based on all of the things we talked about, today we're going to talk about theme, which I think is one of the most important narrative elements about narratives. So based on just your background knowledge, it's okay if you don't know, what would you as a class define theme as for us to put on our anchor chart to hang in the room? What would y'all define theme as?
Essential message.
The moral of the story.
Okay, can anybody give me, let's think of another fable that we all know. What about the tortoise and the hare? So, slow and steady wins the race. Okay, can anybody think of another theme? Because you can have more than one theme in a text.
The princess and
Oh, go ahead. No, that's a good example. Use that
well,
one.
the hare was he thought too highly of himself.
So arrogance,
Yeah.
right? So arrogance doesn't allow you to win. Carrie?
Enduring to the end.
What did you say?
Enduring to the end.
Okay, good. Yeah, because the tortoise in the story kept going and the hare took breaks because he thought he was so fast. And so the tortoise kept going and never stopped and he ended up winning the race, right? All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to finish reading the story that we've been reading all week. And it's called Pretty Penny's Picket. And Taylor is going to finish reading our story. And then we're going to discuss theme and how it applies in that story as well.
With his booted feet, the sheriff pushed his chair from his desk. "Follow me," he said, already walking with strong strides from his office. Outside, the men on the benches now seemed doubly surprised to see us kids half running in order to keep up with Randolph County's long-legged lawmen. A block down Main Street and then 2 blocks down School Street, the last house at the end of the block, the sheriff walked up the driveway and into the backyard. At a backyard sand pile, a little boy dressed in diapers and pullover shirt all over saying, "Dada, dada, dada, dada." The sheriff picked him up and then asked me, "What do you think of my boy's shirt? Surely 11 folks didn't walk all the way over here just to look at a tight-fitting baby shirt. It seems silly, but he really did want my opinion. I reckon it's a nice fit, a nice baby shirt," I told him. Answered the more than 6 feet of sheriff as though he had suddenly struck gold. He repeated. "For a baby shirt, it's mighty fine, but it wasn't bought to be no baby shirt. No, sir, it was bought for me last Saturday. I paid 89 cents for that t-shirt at that Busy Bee bargain store." "You too? Then why don't you?" "Because selling bad merchandise," he said, "can get a merchant in trouble with his customers without getting him in trouble with the law." We pretty pitties walked with the tiger hunters back toward Main Street like a bunch of beaten soldiers. No reason for a hurry and no good left in the day now.